Hello there, and welcome to the weekly outlook. Okay, so we had quite a lot of data that came out weaker for the US dollar last week, which caused the euro and the pound both to rally sort of by Wednesday, Thursday. However, by the end of the week, they started to, traders started to take profit on those trades, and we started to get a bit of a pullback. We expected this, and we did specify this in the live room. We were looking for entry prices to get back in again for sells on the US dollar. Now, data is pretty slim on the front next week. There's not a great deal out in terms of major news announcements on these major currencies. So what we can expect really is we're going to be relying on the sentiment of the market to what sort of is portrayed onto the chart. So we're in a bit of a wait and see game. Let's just say, for example, if we bring up the euro, US dollar, you can see the candles there are showing us quite a bit of indecision around this sort of 11320 level. Now, in the analysis there, we do stipulate that we expect a retest of the 114. That still stands as long as this sort of area of the 113 isn't broken. If the 113 area is broken, then this will probably retest lower levels, sort of 11260, possibly even 112 again. So we really need to sort of see how the market opens on Monday, and then see how we can take it from there. We have got a little bit of data out on some of the currencies which could have a bit of an impact on the majors, and that is the BOJ. Governor Kuroda speaks from Japan on Tuesday at 5 a.m. Now, at the moment, the BOJ they've thrown everything at QE, and it isn't really making that much of a difference, which is why the Japanese yen has been rallying in recent trade. Probably one of the reasons that we had a bit of a strength in the US dollar was the uptick in the commodities prices as well. So, taking all that in mind, we've really got to try and sort of sit on our hands and wait for these sort of support levels to be rejected and see if the buys are still in play. And as you can see there from the candles, we kind of got long wicks there on either side. So a lot of indecision and uncertainty isn't a good probability for us to trade on that currency pair at the time, at this moment in time anyway. So the pound we know is kind of weak in terms of outflows of what's happening with Brexit, but the data has actually been suggesting that the pound is recovering, and I'm actually starting to wonder as well as an analyst whether the BOE rate cut was actually a wise decision or not, because we've had a really strong CPI, we've had a really strong GDP, and we've also had a really strong retail sales figure as well, came out last week. So this dip down at the moment could look like a buying opportunity, but at the same time it's struggling to sort of get back above that 1.3. I noticed on Friday afternoon it's really struggling to get back above that 1.31 area, and it's almost like it was overbought on that retail sales figure, and traders are still expecting that downside post Brexit and going into Article 50 in April 2017. Although that is quite a long way away at the moment, the markets are quite thin in liquidity, which is causing also a little bit of volatility as well. So again, it's going to be a case of sort of sitting on our hands and waiting to see what the candlestick patterns produce over multiple time frames, and then we can make decisions on the direction there. We had a great trade on the buys, and we locked in a good succession of profits on that. But now it's time to sit on our hands and wait to see what the very thin data and the thin liquidity in the market brings us next week. But we will be referring to the technicals on multiple time frames to see if there's any trading opportunities there. Okay, it's only a short one this week because we are kind of a little bit thin on data. We have got some things to consider, but they're mainly on the technical basis now, so it's going to be sort of developed over the coming week, and we'll be portraying that in the live room. Okay, thanks for watching.